Hello, gorgeous people, and welcome to another TV Central one-on-one podcast. I'm Aaron Ryan. This is episode 2023. Harry Hayden was a big performer, big in vocal, big in performance, and big in personality. Judges were divided throughout his journey, and then about his performance on Sunday night. Very different perspectives, perhaps the same reason that divided the public. Harry Hayden, thank you for joining me at TV Central.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Well, first of all, thank you on behalf of all Australians that deal with issues of identity and confidence and feel alone, because your representation is encouraging and positive. Do you stay in your own lane, or are you aware of the role modeling you do, whether you're asked to or not?
I very much wasn't aware that of any impact or anything. I basically at my audition was just asked to trauma dump basically and just say everything about my life. So I just let them know, and then I kind of just went along with what they were sharing. And it's been crazy to see some of the stories of people who have been inspired by what I've shown on Australian Idol. Like I did not expect. Sorry, that's my mum. I did not expect the kind of response that I have gotten. Like there's been some crazy things. Like one person said they came out to their family after watching my audition after being closeted for a few years, and like that was insane. Just to know that I'm making any impact on even one individual is crazy. Because that wasn't even my intention. So, I mean, obviously, I've always wanted to, I've just strived to be myself and be true to who I am, and so I'm glad that I've done that and haven't put a facade on or anything like that. I'm very glad that I've stayed true to myself and stayed in my own lane, definitely.
Yeah. Do you think you were consistent within yourself from audition to your elimination episode? I asked because I felt like it was a toned down Harry at the audition episode. And then as you received positive feedback and confidence, you grew into yourself even more. Is that right? Or do you think you were actually the same throughout?
Oh no, definitely changed throughout. Like I grew a lot, and it was also like such an intensive experience, like and so much to go through. It was a lot, I'll be honest, like a lot to go through. Just because especially I'm freshly 18 and I had to do it without my parents, which if I was below 18, I'd have them throughout the whole thing, but it was all on my own, which was very, very new for me because I very much rely on my parents. And that was a wonderful growing opportunity. And getting through just made me realize I have to put in more and more and more each time. So I tried to focus on learning how to perform and learning how to, you know, put on a show and learning how to deal with nerves. It was just a lot of things that I was trying to learn at once. And yeah, I definitely think I changed throughout it, and I'm not the same person I was when I auditioned.
Let's talk about some of the comments from the judges. A little mixed bag. Do you take it all in as constructive criticism or positive feedback, or were you hurt by some of the comments from Kyle? He was a little bit on his game on Monday, wasn't he?
Yeah, so at the time I was. I mean, I definitely see them all as constructive now, though, and from a bird's eye view, I see it as, you know, just honesty. I think Kyle's just very honest and true to himself, so he'll just say exactly what he thinks. But also, like he told me that he likes me as a person. Like he didn't like bag me from the start, and like I think a lot of what he was saying was fair. Like my vocals did um kind of go down, I think downhill a little bit throughout the show just because it got so nerve wracking because it got more and more intense. I think I would have gotten more and more shaky or like out of pitch just because of the amount of pressure. Because I've spent a lot of time in like my room recording stuff and um, doing things by myself, not in front of a crowd. So very new experience, and I'd love to get more experience in front of people to try and figure out how to um, be my best sort of performing self in front of people.
Well, generally in life, like say nine people can give you a compliment and one person can say something negative. And as a human beings, we often take the negativity to heart and sort of forget about the nine compliments. There's been a lot of love for the top 12 as a whole, but also some nasty comments as well. Have you been able to deal with the good and bad, or do the negative comments, even as a whole group, sort of bum you out a bit?
So at, at first, like when they first started reeling in, I really paid attention to the comments. Since then I haven't looked at for like the past 2 weeks. I haven't looked at them once. Like I'm definitely not taking them to heart because I know no one who's watched the show knows me to my core and knows everything that there is to know about me. Because it's a very windowed view of all that there is to me as a human being. But um, yeah, that's been part of the growing that I've done on this show, and like the learning that I've done is learning to not take those kinds of comments to heart, and to understand that people have their opinion and that's okay, and to just keep doing what I want to do, and not, yeah, I definitely have learnt not listen, not listen. Like constructive criticism, I definitely take on, but anything that's unnecessarily just like bullying or any discrimination or anything like that, it's just I just don't care for it, don't pay any attention to it, and don't give any energy to that.
What a great attitude. Look, there is the judges' comments, obviously, but ultimately Australians, they didn't necessarily say no to you, but they were just voting more for others. Why do you think you didn't get through to the top 8 with the public vote?
Oh, because, well, I mean, a lot of it's subjective, but also like the contestants that are in the top 8 are insane, like the most talented people I've ever met in my life, and they're the most beautiful people I've ever met in my life too. Like it's crazy how humble and um, amazing they are as individuals, but also their voices are just out of this world. And everyone who's in there deserves to be in there 100%. And I was shocked to get to where I got to, and I'm so grateful to get to where I got to. And I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. Like it was really hard process a lot of the time, and I'm ready to put my feet up for a bit and just relax and not do anything for a bit, because yeah, a lot of sleepless nights. But very grateful, and like very like still surprised that I made it so far. Like I'm definitely seeing it as a win.
You just said then before that you were shocked, and then you just said then you were surprised to come that far. Why why are you saying that? You're a talented guy.
Thank you.
And you perform so well. Why shock and surprise that you
Like everyone who was in top 50 week, I think, was so talented. Like I was just surrounded by the most incredibly talented human beings, like, and so much creativity, so much passion and drive for music, and like I just think everyone deserves it. Everyone, like, I don't know, and it's also so subjective. Like I didn't expect to get so far, especially because of like what I had shared about my story on like the TV show. I expected a lot of like mixed reviews, mixed things, because I was really putting myself out there. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I also try not to put too high of an expectation on myself from the start, because I didn't want to, um, let myself down. And yeah, I didn't even expect to get through the audition. Like I, I prepared myself every round to like not make it through, and every time I did, I was just like flabbergasted,
mm,
absolutely in shock. Yeah, and now looking back on it, like wouldn't change a single thing, no regrets, and I'm so grateful for every second that I spent on Australian Idol. I loved it.
I'm sure performing would be a great aspect of the journey, of course, but did you enjoy learning and growing in performance and television production, in movement and even publicity?
Yeah, I learned a lot. Like this is the first time I've done interviews and stuff before, so um, learned a lot about how to talk to people. Especially, I had like the worst social anxiety before I started Australian Idol. Didn't talk much at school, and really struggled um, to just make friends in general. And so I really expected to go on Australian Idol and not like make many close connections, but genuinely have made a little family, and so many people who I've gotten so close with, especially because we share such a common interest in music, which has been really beautiful to connect over. But that's probably been the biggest thing, is like overcoming social anxiety. It's really helped me with that. And I've learned to, you know, talk to people and be confident in myself. I've really grown this new self confidence, and like one thing that I was really anxious about from the start was also not letting self confidence turn into cockiness or arrogance. And I'm proud of myself, because I think that I've continued to, keep myself grounded and stay humble, especially by talking to my family and talking to friends who keep me down to earth, because I think that's really important.
Let's expand on a little bit what you just said a moment ago, because in your bio it said, I started singing because I wanted an outlet to manage my emotions, and singing helped me to process and feel. I'm interested in that space. Did you have, well, you mentioned that you had issues managing your emotions or anxiety growing up. Where did that come from, do you think?
So when I was really little, I had like pretty bad anger problems. I like just didn't know how to express myself. I couldn't talk, like, well, I could talk, but I couldn't like explain any feeling. It was just, I just found it very difficult. So I would have a lot of tantrums and a lot of like, I just found it, childhood was really difficult. just because of the way that I found it difficult to express myself, and the only way that I eventually found out how to is through songwriting. And that's something that I've done ever since I was like 10 years old. And I write like 3 songs every day. It's the way that I process every event that happens in my life. And I love it because I love singing. I love songwriting. I'm definitely more of a songwriter slash singer than a cover kind of person, because I just connect to my own lyrics so much because I speak straight from the heart and from my own experiences. But yeah, growing up, I felt, I was bullied quite a lot in primary school. Um, I found high school really difficult because I've never been academically very talented or skilled or um, motivated. So yeah, I found school really, really, really hard. And so music is the only thing that's gotten me through a lot of it. Music's like saved my life many times. And in the depths of like my depression throughout like ages 15 to 17, music got me out of it. Music and like writing stuff. And especially I learned to produce during COVID, and just the adrenaline and excitement that making my own beats and songs gave me has kept me going a lot of the time.
Do you feel more pressure than some of the others in terms of your journey? Because some contestants have the focus on their vocals, pretty much that's it for the most part. But I mean, you have comments about your look and your personality and your production performance. Is it hard juggling all of that?
I mean, I've always dressed up. Like ever since I was little, I used to wear like my mum's dresses and like all my sister's outfits. I have 3 older sisters who I've always been inspired by. I've always done makeup on myself. I always used to wear makeup looks to school. And I love. I mean, I feel like I've been developing myself as an artist since a really young age. I'm quite sure of like who I am. Obviously, there's a lot that I still have yet to figure out because I'm only 18. But there's yeah, I spent a lot of time alone during high school, um, journaling, learning about myself, trying to figure new things out about myself. And I've always loved fashion and clothing, so been designing my own stuff and took a fashion course last year and the year before. And I've always like loved art and painting, and so I've always painted on my clothes and like made my own clothes. So I love that aspect of it, and it's never felt like a burden, like trying to make a cool set or make a cool outfit or cool look. Like it's my favorite thing ever. I love it.
Hmm. So what's next for you, Harry? Have you got anything coming up on, and what kind of sound and stuff are you sort of chasing,
Yeah.
and what can we expect from you?
So I'm really looking. Well, I've been reached out by a few producers who want to help me build some new music, because I have a few stuff released, a few songs released that I've done myself, but I'm not very skilled in producing. I don't know how to read music or like haven't been trained professionally, but I'm quite self-taught on like guitar and piano and producing, and so I'm really excited to get some professional help in making my music, because I think yeah I've worked really hard on lyrics and melodies, and I have a lot of material, like over 800 songs that I've made that I'm ready to just like polish. And so I'm really excited for that. And the sound that I'm interested in making is like I've always been a soul singer ever since I was little. Been obsessed with the big voices like Jennifer Hudson and stuff like that. And so R&B is like the kind of route that I really love, and I love like making beats and like especially groovy tunes. SZA is one of the artists that I'm most inspired by. I love Lauryn Hill,
Mm.
all those classic R&B and urban sort of sounds. But yeah, I'm so eager to continue working really really hard on my music, more than ever now. Because I didn't take it very seriously before Idol, but now it's something that I really know and I'm sure of doing. And it's yeah, it's what I love. So I'm gonna keep doing that and just keep hustling, baby.
Yeah. And where can people follow you on socials?
So you can follow me on Instagram at Harry Hayden with 3 N's. I need to figure out how I can get just Harry Hayden with 1 N, but you can also my Facebook is Harry Hayden with 3 N's. I have a YouTube. I used to post like vlogs and stuff on YouTube, but now I've just got some singing content and original stuff up there, which is just Harry Hayden. Yeah, everything's just under my name.
Awesome. I'm already following you. You certainly had a big journey, and your performances were certainly fun and engaging, um, as you are as well as a person. So it was an awesome journey to watch. Harry, thank you for joining me at TV Central.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. It's been great.
Harry Hayden there, from the top 10 of Australian Idol. The next performance show is Sunday, the 12th of March at 7 p.m. And then another 2 contestants will be eliminated on Monday, the 13th of March at 7:30 p.m. on 7 and 7 Plus. TV Central will be chatting to all of the top 12 contestants. That's it for this episode. For all the latest news, podcasts, streaming info, guides, and ratings, head to tvcentral.com.au. Until next time, I'm Aaron Ryan, and thanks to Harry Hayden. Bye for now.